Yo, let's go and welcome to the video. This is going to be part 3 of my Sunwell gearing path, assuming it's going to be gated like it was originally when TBC first launched. Part 1 covers the first 3 bosses that we should have access to. Part 2 is when the first gate should open. So this video will be part 3 when the second gate opens up and we get access to the 5th boss in Sunwell. And that 5th boss is Muru, which has a couple cloth chests, a leather chest, a caster DPS ring, a PvP caster DPS ring, and an interesting trinket which we'll talk about at the end. So we've got a cloth chest with no spirit but has crit and haste, a cloth chest with spirit and crit and haste, and then the leather chest with some terrible sockets, bad socket bonus, but it has spirit on it and haste. So the caster ring, the rings are kind of a slot where if we need hit, we can swap rings out. This ring does not have hit, so if we don't need hit from our ring slot, then this will be our best option. And then I only use one PvP resilience ring right now, but I'll probably get this for my PvP set. And then we have the shifting Naru sliver. Tons of haste on it, and it's on use for 15 seconds of 320 spell power on a minute 30-second cooldown. Seems to be really great as long as you're not running out of mana on a boss fight. If you're having mana issues, keep Skull and Hex Shrunken Head, or Skull and whatever other trinket you prefer. But I think this trinket right here with a 4-piece tier 5, 4-piece tier 6 is going to be really strong. So the first set I wanted to take a look at is keeping 4-piece tier 5, 4-piece tier 6. So we would need to have the new belt, boots, and bracers, and then having the best off pieces as well that we could get up through the first 5 bosses. So we've got the main hand mace, the offhand, both from Brutalist. We've got the new shifting Naru sliver trinket, the new ring of omnipotence, and we're looking at 2382 DPS and barely spending any time out of mana. So in order to get more DPS than the double 4-piece, so the first thing I want to look at is if we have the leather pieces and no cloth pieces, assuming we don't get any cloth pieces right away. We probably won't get all of this gear either, but let's assume that we can get the weapons, ring, trinket, all of that other stuff. Then will the leather pieces be enough to not run out of mana faster and do more DPS? So we can get the leather chest, the leather shoulders. I'll even use the BOE cloth gloves instead of the leather gloves, the leather legs, and then for the helmet, I'll use the tier 6 helm to give us the 4-piece set bonus, the 3 new pieces. So already our hit is down 3.5%, so we can use the new necklace to boost us up a bit, change the ring of ancient knowledge to forged power, and then as we fill in our gems, we can get up to that 16%. So now that we've got our gems situated, we've got our 2 blue gems for our meta socket and our chest, a couple of hit spell power gems for yellow sockets. We're going up about 2 DPS, and we're spending potentially more time out of mana. I mentioned it in part 1, but just to reiterate, I'm using a 2-minute encounter timer using Destropod. I've got the raid buffs that I usually have every raid. I use Superior Wizard Oil instead of Brilliant. Primary spell Starfire. I don't use Adaptive to test gear and stuff because I don't want to have to downrank, but I have Moonfire, Fairy Fire. We don't have jewel crafting necks for our group usually, ever actually. But I do get drums and improved Divine Spirit. So would I prefer this set over the 2-piece tier 4? I don't think so. And I don't think it's likely that we would have all of this gear before the 3rd gate opens and we can get to KT anyways. It's going to be luck of the draw, raid to raid. We've only seen one Zardoom drop, for example, and Black Temple's been out for how long? So yes, if we change these leather pieces to the cloth pieces that are going to give more DPS, maybe then could you switch out the double 4-piece sets, but the likelihood of that happening is very small. So I think going into KT, if it's gated, our best bet would be to get 4-piece by getting the 3 pieces of tier first, and then filling in, upgrading our weapons, rings, and maybe even this trinket like that first set has, and going from there. But either way, at this point, in order to break the 4-piece, you're still going to need the new tier belt, boots, and bracers. So those are still high priority for us. So really get onto your loot council about how much you want these pieces. And again, this is all if it does come out gated. If it does not come out gated, we'll talk about that and all of the Kill Jaden loot in the next and last part of this video series. So I will see you there.